The scene opens when we see a woman using her phone to record a memo about her dissertation relating to art and indigenous masks. She continues to take notes about her dissertation and makes assumptions that these masks were not only used for art, but also as a kind of expression of feelings. We find out that her name is Claudia, and then in the next memo she says that there is also a possibility that these indigenous tribes have used these masks as a way to extend their life and achieve immortality. As she's taking the notes, she is distracted by her own voice recordings. A truck coming her way almost hits her, but then a stranger pulls her hand and saves her from getting hit. The stranger then asks her if she's okay, to which she replies, "You saved my life." Hilariously, she adds a note after this incident naming it "almost died and met future husband." After this, she heads to the museum, and when she arrives at the museum, to her surprise, she sees the same stranger that saved her life. As she's approaching him, he's buying 2 museum entry tickets and offers her one, which she tries to decline, but him being a nice guy, he can't take no for an answer. Once in the museum, she continues taking her memos on her phone's voice recorder, when all of a sudden the same stranger sneaks by and cut her off by asking, "Are you writing a book?" Startling her at first, but then they slowly start to become comfortable with each other and continue their conversation. While talking, he starts to tell her how much he admires the book he's currently reading in the museum and starts quoting some notable lines from the same book. Claudia is surprised. She stops him mid-sentence and tells him that that's a quote that she really loves, and she's so surprised that he quoted something that she particularly loves and how improbable it is that he would choose that quote out of thin air. She adds to the conversation that the reason she's at the museum is because she's writing her dissertation in indigenous masks and their role in reincarnation. As they're walking through the museum, we notice some kids being playful nearby them, and we see the kid throwing a water bottle at the stranger, to which he promptly reacts and catches the bottle instantly and impresses Claudia. As they walk through the museum, they continue to get to know each other better, and they start talking about the things they used to like when they were young. Our stranger then says that when he was young, he used to like a certain exhibit at the museum with dirt and tapeworms. Claudia, surprised again, says that her favorite exhibit in the museum when she was young was also the dirt and tapeworm exhibit, and stating how improbable this is again that they have something in common. She then asks the stranger what's his name, to which he replies, "My name is Mark with a C." When hearing this, Claudia starts to chuckle and laugh at his name. She then goes to explain how she had a crush on a boy in 7th grade called Mark with a C. Mark conveniently dismisses it and starts talking about random stuff. And while talking, she tells him that her name is Claudia, to which he also shows no reaction to and says right, and quickly follows it by offering her a chewing gum. She reacts strangely to this, but as she was confused about why he would offer her a chewing gum out of nowhere, the museum guard suddenly dropped a pack of chewing gum by accident just in front of them, and she just simply said, "How did you?" To which he promptly cuts her off and asks her whether she wants to get in the canoe, because that's what he always wanted to do when he was a kid. Every time he went to the museum, he always wanted to jump in it, to which she also says, "Me too," and justifyingly thinking to herself, this is just hella creepy. While inside the canoe, she keeps talking to him and confessing that she did have a dream when she was young about being with a boy in a canoe in a museum, which makes it even weirder for her. But he completely brushes all of this off as if it's not a big deal. But she refuses to believe that this is a coincidence and keeps asking him how did he know that the guard was going to drop the chewing gum, and how did he know that the guard will not look their way when they're in the canoe, thinking to herself that it must be a trick or some kind of elaborate plan. In the next scene, we see Mark start to open up about what he knows, and he starts talking about how he hasn't been completely honest with Claudia. He continues to explain that he knows everything, and he means everything, every single second of every hour. Claudia dismisses this and just laughs it off, but he is insistent that he knows everything about her, and he keeps telling her about the guys she used to like, and how she always used to like assholes, to which she keeps staring and looks very surprised, signaling that his claim about knowing everything is exactly true. Now, at this point of the story, I knew there was some kind of nice guy energy going on, and I was already smelling that twist from far away. We can see Claudia is becoming visibly uncomfortable by how vague he is, so she keeps insisting that he tells her exactly what is going on. This makes Mark take a more honest stance, and he confesses to her that he has been reliving this day thousands of times. Every time he goes to sleep at the end of the day or he dies during the day, he will start over from the morning on that same day. Claudia obviously makes light of this situation and still doesn't believe him, He responds by predicting the events that are going to happen in her vicinity within the next few minutes, such as the guy who's going to sneeze behind her, the sun going behind the clouds, the helicopter flying over them, the recurring dream she's having about overflowing toilets. She cuts him off, visibly uncomfortable now, willing to accept his claim that he is reliving this day thousands of times. He then slowly starts to change his tone, and we start to see his egoistic side coming out. He claims that he is the perfect man because he has relieved this day and he has made many mistakes before, and he has tried many times to make his encounter with her perfect, thus warranting him the nicest guy award. We can see that she's clearly uneasy when she hears this, and she claims that he has been tricking her by doing and saying exactly what she would like to hear, but in reality, that's not the real him. The next scene, we see all the times he has tried to impress her, even going as low and petty as trying to impress her when naming the mask Bob Johnson, as that was the only name she laughs at, while the others he tried, such as John Johnson or Bill Thompson, made Claudia cringe. He continues to explain himself that everything he does is for her, and whatever he's doing is because he would like to impress her. She's reasonably questioning this and wondering why he would do this for her, to which he simply replies, "I love you." Here we go, strike two for Mr. Nice Guy here. She's immediately creeped out by the statement and keeps telling him that she doesn't know him and that she has not met him more than once. However, for him, he has known her for years, and he has relived this day so many times that he has learned everything about her and learned to love her beyond comprehension. After still refusing to reciprocate the feelings, Mark starts to show his true colors. He starts ranting about good and evil, keep going on random tangents about how ungrateful she is and how dumb her stories are, creeping her out even further. Claudia refusing all his attempts to gain her sympathy and love pisses Mark even more. He keeps ranting on about how all of this isn't real, and that anything that goes wrong today, he can easily just restart and do it all over again, so in the realest sense, she is not real to him. This scares Claudia, as this obviously means that he can do anything he wants because he will suffer no consequences for his actions. He reveals that she has rejected him almost every time they met, and he is ready at any moment to stop this day so that he can restart and do it all over again, alluding that she may be in danger of losing her life if she does not do what he says. Claudia, now petrified and scared for her life, starts running and tries to call for help. Mark suddenly pops in front of her and grabs her while she tries to take his watch off in the struggle. She then stops and decides that it's all or nothing, and it's time to face her nightmare and fight him. During this time, he openly admits that he has been doing all of this for thousands of days just so he can sleep with her. This puts a disgusting feeling in her mind. He then continues to put on one of the masks on the wall of the museum on his face and takes an ancient bone sword from the exhibition stand and starts threatening and pointing it at her, when suddenly she sucker punches him square in the fudge factory, following it with two other punches knocking him down. Strike three for Mr. Nice Guy. The museum guards then apprehend him, and when taking him away, he smiles and says that he will start this day all over again and none of this will matter. She hits him again, and then the guards take him away. The next day, we see the day has restarted for Mark, and now he is at the same scene before she's about to be run over by the truck. As the truck approaches, she reacts quickly and moves back to not get hit by the truck, revealing to us that Claudia continues living her life while Mark gets stuck in a time loop where he will always be rejected, beaten, or jailed. A prison of his own design. That's all for today, guys. If you like this story, please don't forget to like it and subscribe to Recap Nest for more sci-fi stories like this. Also, please check these two videos out to binge on that sweet, sweet sci-fi sauce.